I have twin sons, and they're now 36 years old. And when they were born, I took photos of them like the day after they were born, and sent the photos to Baba and said, Baba, can you please name these children? And so the letter goes off to India. Then I get this letter from my father, who was a very old-fashioned English gentleman type. And he was like, well, all your time in India you'll now see was a complete waste of time, and now you've got a family, you've got to work. Oh, and by the way, if you give these children Indian names, I'll never speak to you again. I'll never speak to you. Oh, shit. What to do? So after some weeks, the photos came back from India. And Baba had somebody write on the back, Herbert and Martin.
Would you believe it?
All the family.
There was also one story of Andreas, who also stayed early in Shrine Life, and he said, "Oh, inside to Babaji, I don't want a holy name. I don't want anything, but not a holy name." And then later, Babaji came and said, "Your name, Dr. Watson."
Is that the long when you came with this guy we know, huh?
He was in like 84, he was in Shrine Life.
Yeah, but I remember this story, but this guy told me this story, and it was laughing, but I forgot his name. His first name was...
And he said it was true, it was part of his character.
Yeah.
I also can share a family story. In I can't remember if it was I think it was 1978. I think it was 1978. Babaji was in Vrindavan, and I have 3 sisters, and I had ran away from home when I was 16 and hadn't seen any of my family for many, many years. And one of my sisters was a flight attendant for an airline stewardess. And after I'd met Babaji, we were in contact through mail, and she wrote me and heard about Babaji from me, and she wanted to meet me. And anyway, she had a flight to Delhi, and Babaji was in Vrindavan. But I wasn't there with him. But I think when I wrote her, I said I would be there, but for whatever reason, I couldn't go. And at that time, from Haidakhan, there was no way to communicate with her. And anyway, she arrived from Delhi. She got a taxi and she went to Vrindavan and arrived there in the afternoon when Babaji was having his nap. And that was kind of his one sacred time of the day that nobody could see him. And maybe he had just gone into his room. And she arrived at the ashram in Vrindavan in a taxi, not knowing anything, dressed, of course, like the proper Westerner, being a flight attendant. And somebody took her to Sastriji, who took her right into Babaji's room, and she spent Babaji's nap with him in his room with Sastriji. She got to spend like 2.5 hours all alone with Babaji. Yeah.
What was her experience?
Well, she had a very wonderful experience. I mean, she didn't become a devotee, but she just thought the whole experience was incredible for her. Yeah. And for me, it was just kind of like totally mind-blowing, It was like somebody from family had arrived and Babaji just got up from his nap and brought her into his room, and they had sat and had tea and chatted and with Sastriji. So I don't know who was translating or how,